On today's episode of the Female Entrepreneur Musician Podcast, I'm going rogue, doing a solo episode. Haven't done this for a while, but I want to talk to you about a very cool new app called Clammr.
Welcome to the Female Entrepreneur Musician Podcast with Bree Noble. Bree is a musician, entrepreneur, speaker, and founder of Women of Substance Music Radio and Podcast. Bree's interviews with successful female musicians and industry pros are both inspirational and informational. She also answers your questions about the music business. Bree is on a mission to help you create great music, connect with your fans, and grow your business, and to truly become a female entrepreneur musician.
I want to welcome you to the Female Entrepreneur Musician Podcast. If you've tuned into this show ever before or many times, you know that we are usually an interview show. We usually interview female musicians who are really doing a great job of making a living with their music, or industry pros, females that are working in the industry that can give you guys some information that will help you in your career. But today, I want to talk to you about Clammr. Clammr is an awesome new app I'm using to promote our podcast, the Women of Substance Radio podcast, and I know it can be such a great tool for you to promote your music. Before I get into that, I want to remind you, please go subscribe on iTunes. All our subscriber numbers really help us. If you're willing to review the show, that is also a really big help in getting us seen on iTunes and bringing in all the people that are exactly who we want to help with this show. We're also giving away a free month of the Female Musician Academy to one lucky person who reviews us on iTunes that I choose at random on the first week of the month. So keep that in mind, and if you have a moment, please go and review us on iTunes. So I want to talk today about a mobile app called Clammr that can really help you promote your music. Clammr comes from the word clamor, C-L-A-M-O-R, which means to proclaim or a consistent loud noise from a group of people. Now they spell the app name C-L-A-M-M-R. So make sure you look for that when you're looking that up in your app store. And the reason they created this app, the desired result, is they wanted audio to go viral. You know, we have YouTube for video to go viral and Vimeo. We have things like Twitter and Facebook to get information out there, to get pictures out there. And they wanted a way to really share audio in a way that could go viral. And so what they decided was they wanted to have small audio snippets of 18 seconds in length that you could share on social media and that would link back to the full audio. So it's being called like the Twitter or Instagram of audio. The way it's set up is in channels. So different snippets of audio are in channels of like things. For example, tech news, all in one channel. Entertainment news, all in one channel. Certain genres of music, all in one channel. And then each person who puts up clammers has their own channel that includes all of their clammers. And so people can just kind of turn on a channel and listen to a bunch of snippets in a row. So for example, if there's a new independent artist channel, then you can, push play and it will just go through all these different snippets of audio. And if you hear one you like, you can click like and it will save it for you. So you can go back to that one and you don't have to click on every individual one. You can kind of have this stream and then you hear something you like, you just click real fast, it goes on to the next one, and you'll always be able to find that later. Also, you can save clammers if you want to your phone. Just like other social media platforms, it can be used for promotion, to create community, and for networking. And similar to other social networks, you can like things, you can follow people, you can have followers, you can direct message people, and also in a way you can comment, but I'll talk about that a little bit later, how you can do that on Clammr because your comments are audio. It's available for free only on iOS devices, iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, not yet for Android, but there are ways that you can go ahead and publish clammers if you don't have an Apple device, and that is to use the publishing portal, which is at publisher.clammr.com. I want to go quickly through some of the features of Clammr and what makes it different and interesting, and then I'll go into more specifics about how you can use this to promote your music. So first of all, obviously it's mobile. It's an app. You can listen on the go. You can save things for later very easily by just hitting the little like icon. It's organized in like things, so you can listen and find channels that you like. It's customizable, so you can create your own clammers and you can add a voiceover to music. So you can actually use their multi-track feature, which is really cool, to create your own clammers using other people's clammers, using your clammers, do mashups of clammers. And I've even heard some people do like a multi-track kind of harmonization. So they sing something, they send it to somebody else, that person overlays a track and harmonizes with it. It's just kind of a fun, cool thing that might be kind of cool to create something for your fans that, you harmonize with yourself on Clammr, or you let a fan harmonize with you or something like that. You can listen to the full-length audio directly through Clammr. So if you want to listen to more than just the 18 seconds, you can just click Hear More or See More or whatever button is available on the Clammr that you have or you're looking at, because you can customize that too. And it will go to the full Clammr. And it will also go directly to iTunes, or it will go to a website. It'll go to whatever link you put in there. So that's a very cool feature, I think. You can share within Clammr. So if you are following people or they're following you and you want to share something with them, you can do that. You can share it out from within Clammr to Twitter or Facebook or email. And it's fully searchable using hashtags and labels. So definitely you want to take advantage of that. And that will help people find your music if it's, marked with a hashtag under a certain genre or a certain city. And I'll go into that a little bit later. But Clammrs help you find similar audio to what you already like. So just the way it's organized, it's very useful, and you can use hashtags to find similar stuff. You can like Clammrs to be able to find them later. I already mentioned that, or you can save them to your phone. And the Clammr Digest, this is what I think is one of the coolest things. Once a week, I, as a Clammr member, get sent Clammr Digest. And what it does is it sends me an email of all the things that I liked on Clammr, and it gives me the links to all the full-length audio. So if you are a music fan and you were listening to all these 18-second snippets and you found one you liked and you clicked on it, then you can get this digest and it reminds you, oh yeah, I really wanted to check out that song, and it gives you the link. And if that's the iTunes link, they could go buy it right then. So that's a bit about the generalized features of Clammr. Now I want to go into how we can use that to promote our music. And I think maybe from what I've already said, maybe you've come up with some ideas in your head already, but I'm going to go through about 12 things that I already thought of that we can do to promote our music. So you can create Clammrs from music that's already online. So you can either find something that's in your Dropbox, in your SoundCloud, somewhere on Facebook, or it's on a podcast, and you can grab that audio and pull a snippet out of it by using the Clammr app and create a Clammr out of it, the 18 seconds. And then you can choose to link that to wherever you want. So that can be really cool if you've already got your music on SoundCloud, that it's just so easy to grab 18 seconds of that. You can do a voiceover on your own Clammr. So you can grab 18 seconds of your music, and then you could maybe put some information at the beginning, like, if you like this, go check out my website, www.breenoble.com. Or you could say, I wrote this song when I was riding in my grandpa's truck, or, whatever you wanted to say about writing the song. There's some cool, really engaging things that you can do with being able to do a voiceover. And if you want to hear what that might be like, you can go to the Women of Substance Clammrs, which are actually under my name, Bree Noble, and you will see how I do that, because I do that on the podcast every day, where I talk a little bit about the artist or the song, and then it leads right into the song. And as long as you're not talking too long, then you can have time to hear a little snippet of the singer as well as just the music and the talking. So if you want to hear that, you can go on Clammr and find it under my name, or you can go to wosradio.com. And if you scroll down on the front page, you'll see a thing that says preview the WOS podcast. And that's like a Clammr widget, which I'll talk about in a minute, where you can listen to all the Clammrs that I've done. If you don't want to use the app to create your Clammrs, you can use something like Audacity or GarageBand to create them in advance, and then you can upload them using the publisher.clammr.com, your online, instead of having to do it all on your mobile app. Sometimes I find that easier. I know I do because I'm already creating the podcast, so there's ready-made Clammrs right there, so I just pull out the 18 seconds and save them as separate MP3s, and then I upload them to the Clammr publisher and put links in there to our iTunes show. If you go to publisher.clammr.com, you'll see what I mean and how easy that is to do. They also, within the publisher, and it's another reason to use the publisher, is they have a scheduling feature. So if you want to schedule out like one Clammr a day for your songs, then you can go in there, load them all up for the week, and schedule them out on different days. Now for me, I've got 7 Clammrs a day because I've got 7 artists on the podcast every weekday. So I go in there and I schedule like one Clammr an hour because I don't want them to all come out at once. I want them to spread out between other people's Clammrs on the channels that I'm on. So it's easier for more people to find me. That scheduling feature is really powerful. Be sure when you're scheduling or just creating Clammrs within the app that you use hashtags and labeling so people can find you. Some great examples of that for musicians would be the city that you're from, the genre that your song is in, words that relate to the name of your song or the subject matter of your song, other bands that you sound like, and anything else that you can think of that would make someone find your song that would be looking for something like your song. You can also create your own channels. It creates a channel out of all your Clammrs, but you can also create another channel. Like, for example, I created a channel called Women in Music, and then I can curate a bunch of women's music that I like, not just the ones that I put on Clammr. So if you wanted to create something like, great Chicago bands, you could create a channel and you could go find a bunch of Chicago bands that you like, including hopefully you, and then you can use that and promote it to all the people that you have on there, so then they'll promote it to other people. That's another way to try to get things to move a little bit in the viral direction. You can invite your friends to Clammr. So within Clammr, you can find people that you already know on Facebook and Twitter. And then you can also have the opportunity to send out invites to them and to tell them about Clammr, because Clammr is pretty new. It came out in the spring of 2015. Not a lot of people know about it, and a lot of people are finding out about it every day and getting really excited about it. So, you might want to tell your fans about it by way of using the Clammr app to do that. It's also a way to get your fans involved, engage them, and get them to share your stuff. It creates a very easy way for them to share your music because they can share it from within Clammr, and they can go out and share it to their Facebook friends, their Twitter followers, and it takes them like just one keystroke to do it. So definitely would encourage you to tell your fans about that option. Now, something really cool that super fans of your music can do is they can go in there and take your Clammr, and then they can maybe make a comment over the top of it. So say you had a song in there and you hadn't have made your own comment. You hadn't have been talking about your music. It was just the intro and then you started singing. They could go in there and say something like, "Oh my gosh, I saw them perform this at a concert and it was so rocking awesome." And they could send that out to their friends. And then, what a way for a fan to pay tribute to you. And it's really easy for them to do that within the Clammr app because they've got multi-track and you can just create it right from your phone. If you're trying to use it to promote or sell your music, you can either link it directly to iTunes or you can link to your website, which is what I would suggest. Link to where they can get your free download, because you're going to want to get people on your mailing list and then promote them to buy your stuff. If you send them right to iTunes, then you have no other way to stay in contact with them. So I highly recommend that you put your website link there, but you can also link directly to iTunes. Be sure that when you make Clammrs, you Clammr your hook. I mean, if you're not doing the ones where you're talking during the intro, then I definitely think that 18 seconds needs to be the hook of your song, because you want people to click like on your Clammr, because that's going to get them to save it for later. That's going to get it appearing in their Clammr digest, and they're just going to remember you more if they've already liked your Clammr. And finally, I highly recommend you put their widget on your website. As I said, if you go to wosradio.com, you can see on our front page where it says preview the Women of Substance Radio podcast. That is where the Clammr widget is. And if you click on that, you'll just go through all the Clammrs, all the 18-second clips, and there's like over 200 Clammrs in there. So, you can have that on your website. It's another way to allow people to get a taste of your music very quickly, and it will run through all of your Clammrs 18 seconds at a time, so they can get a really wide variety of what your music is like. I hope this has gotten you excited about Clammr. It is a very new platform. I think it's a really exciting thing for musicians and podcasters, and I hope you got some great ideas on how you can use it to promote your music and engage your fans. Now go out and make great music, connect with your fans, and grow your business. Female Entrepreneur Musician has been brought to you by FEMusician.com and FemaleMusicianAcademy.com. With editing by Bree Noble and music by Stella Ronson.